In an armed robbery, launching a counter ambush is many times the best way to protect yourself from harm. Hi everyone, this is John with today's active self-protection lesson. I'm not positive where today's lesson comes from. If you have any more information, please add it in a comment and I will put it in the description. Shows an armed robbery that gets launched and our defender is able to take the time and launch the appropriate counter ambush to protect himself and everyone around him. It's going to teach us some important lessons about keeping cool, about obscuring our draw, and about moving definitively when the time comes to protect ourselves. This is just another day here at the deli, and then people start putting their hands up because we're going to see from the right two armed robbers come in. There's a guy in the gray sweatshirt here, doesn't look like he has anything in his hands. He looks like the grab man. So when multiple attackers attack, many times it's a gunman and a grab man. Here we see the gunman. You can barely see. He's in this teal sweater right now, and he's going to come into a little better view. What he doesn't know is that the guy in the black shirt there actually has a gun on him. He is a self-defender, and he is going to wait for his opportunity, drive into that guy, and put a couple of shots in him and run those bad guys off. The armed robbers don't get away with anything but lead, and this one is over that quickly, everybody. So I want to back up and learn a couple of lessons here from this guy and his successful self-defense. First of all, we talk about this in armed robberies all the time, that they involve a counter ambush if you're going to successfully defend yourself. That they get to launch their attack from ambush and they get to set the timing of that, and you've got to wait for your opportunity when they're not paying attention to you and you're able to launch a counter ambush. Here we see these guys starting to look around and we see multiple attackers on a pretty common basis here with armed robberies. And many times we have somebody with a gun, a gunman, and a grab man, like we have the grab man here. So knowing who is who and who your primary threat is very important. So the guy in the black shirt here is our self-defender, and he's determined that this is the gunman. You can see him, he's got something in his right hand here. And our good guy's deciding, hey, when's the right time for me to launch my counter ambush? And the right time for him to launch that counter ambush is when the gunman is not paying attention to him, so he can get out and get shots on target before the gunman has a chance. And that's exactly what he does. I really admire the fact that he went into the threat here. He drove towards the threat. Now, it takes training, it takes a lot of guts, but it gave him a good shot and drove that bad guy off. We see this pretty commonly, that armed attackers, they are not looking for fights. They're looking for victims. So when they face some resistance, they run off pretty quickly. And I love that our defender here is not focused just on one threat. He's looking left and looking right, making sure that the threats are leaving and not focusing on one so much that he ignores the other one. He did a fantastic job of protecting not only himself, but everyone else in the store here. He covered his asp.